everyone, and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Day. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we have never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week we've got a map by Sandals. Oh no, it is soap. Oh, it's backwards? No, is it backwards? Choices is the name. I suppose choice 1 is do you go backwards or forwards. I'm guessing this is backwards. I think that is Meryl up ahead going backwards, although she seems to be slower. With a start like that, with the Omni also, I'm guessing that's going to be a negative force Omni, so it slows you down if you're going forwards and would speed you up if you're going backwards. The rest of this map does kind of feel like something that's backwards. Yolo seems to be bouncing a little bit. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, that's going to be a risky ending with those rocks. So fairly standard map. Yeah, backwards AT 43. Okay. So this is gonna suck. Okay. The hardest part is probably just not sliding immediately when you get off of the soap like I did the previous time. I might put on the 80 steering limit. 80 or 60 tends to be a go-to for most people on backwards maps. This is probably good news for me because I think most people struggle on backwards maps and I tend to do okay at them. Nothing too difficult. It doesn't seem like there's a corner that's just like gonna kill you with speed, so that is a good sign. 43 is AT. I think that's it. Forwards AT is also was the 43. Wait, the whole map is the risky? Apparently it is. Yeah, so actually the whole map is the risky, because what would a normal risky finish save? Probably that couple tenths that Sandals has saved by going backwards. So that booster then, that only gives like 1 speed or something if you're going backwards. It's a very low force booster to give you just a tiny bit more speed right at the start. That is fascinating. I suppose that does raise the choice then of, are you going to go backwards or forwards? Do you take the risky finish, even though the risky is actually the very beginning of the map? I would say it's a lot, I'm a lot more inclined to take the risky when it's the very first thing you do in the map than when it's the very last thing in the map. A lot of people like first-person view also, because in first person you can hold the look back cam. Okay, it's hard to line up off of the soap. But I know that is actually a strategy that I've done on certain, I don't remember how to do this. Certain maps. It can be helpful. I actually don't think this is a map where this tech is particularly useful, because everything's pretty clear even in the third person backwards cam. Mew in the lead. I'm not surprised. Mew did release a competition map recently that was backwards. Actually with fairly similar flow to what this map has. I would actually bet Sandals was inspired by that map. And that was a map that I was using first person on, but I don't think this one is. I feel like I'm seeing better in third person. I know 2 people who are going to heavily disagree with me, but I guess that is yet another one of the choices you must make on this map. Zoman goes slightly faster, both with 44.6s, which is a fair ways off of the author time. Sandals would have grinded this for sure, knowing Sandals. I feel like I'm getting a touch of lag right at the finish every time I get there also. I do tend to turn players off to just make things a little less laggy, so it would probably not matter in the early rounds. Okay. You can inner hook the very beginning of that, which is disgusting. Going backwards. Does look like most people are attempting backwards, which I would be in the warm-up rounds. It's a fairly straightforward map going forwards. I don't like the prospect of a partial inner there. Up speed there, 78 at the top. Oh. It's very easy to oversteer at the top and crash into things. And this is the one turn that I think it is possible to slide out on. Well, actually, I'm sure a lot of turns are possible to slide out on. But that's the one I think that's going to catch me out. Wide ending, just so I lose my PB right at the end. So, I'm fairly consistent with this, at least. How do I get faster, though? Because apparently we can be doing mid-43s with this. At the very least, I need to be doing low 44s if I want to compete at the top. For one, I guess don't crash at the top. I haven't had a good run through this section yet. Probably gonna steering limit that, actually, just to make it a little less janky. That was kind of tap steering, which is probably not ideal in a slow section like that. Where does that put me? Still 13th. I did not move. 44.8. Zomin and Hydro are the top two. I think those probably are the two best players in the lobby right now. I wonder if Sandals would be mean enough to have that inner there intentionally, and maybe if that's where he's gaining some speed. I suppose it's another choice, isn't it? Oh, okay. Turn with the banking. That's important on any track, but it's especially important on a backwards track where steering too much means you completely lose your run. Oh, going a little bit wide. That is an insurance booster, so I'm not catching it at all, actually, on the normal run. If I can angle myself slightly to the side like I did there, I'll have a better setup for the first turn, which should give me more speed, assuming I don't crash on the first turn like I did there. Whoop, taps the tree on the inside. That checkpoint's going to show more speed also if you're low on the wall ride, which I was. Yeah, so I'm actually down speed, presumably from hitting a tree. Quick Racer in the lobby now. I think some people got stuck with the lobby being full, so that's why we don't necessarily have all the best players here, because they usually get a free pass into the lobby. Round also gets in. There's the other one I know is stuck outside. Ooh, I just got an idea. I don't know if this was intentional, but Shady Nook in front of me was going forwards and hit some of the inner. I wonder if I actually get more doing that, because the inner is going to be very hard to hit going backwards. It's going to be very hard to hit going forwards also, but I might want to try that out just to see. Ow! I have one run left in the warm-up. Panda Main gets in as well. Was the lobby size increased at the final moments here? I mean, they're going to have no practice on this, so that'll be interesting. Some of the better players not getting the full warm-up round. That inner, because you can enter the second half of that too. I just think that's too risky either direction. I am putting up very similar speeds, though. I mean, I guess that's the point, right? Is you're supposed to be about one speed down going forwards compared to backwards. Hence the risky. Okay, I can't get a very clean ending going forwards, but I should be able to do that going backwards also. Zoman leads the warm-up round ahead of Hydro and Jake Adjacent. Top 3 are previous Cup of the Day winners. Mew is going to be an interesting one to watch here, given that she did make a backwards map, which she heavily grinded the author time. So she probably has more experience than anybody on backwards tracks in this lobby. Whoops. Fortunately for these people that joined late, like Vidal also on the list apparently, this isn't too bad of a track to have to go into without warm-up. The risky part is understanding how to go backwards at this, but you could get through the first rounds very safely by going forwards. Honestly, with how little an advantage it gives you, you could probably win this cup just going forwards, but it would be making things a little bit extra difficult on yourself. That was a PB by like 3/10 to very naturally end up in 4th place like I always am. Oh, Quick Racer already goes faster than me with just a couple minutes warm up. Let's do one more reset. I want to be pointed just a little bit to the right. That was not pointed, just a little to the right, but this is the last run now. Might as well take it. Ooh, I was a little scared that I might get the inner. And that would have been hard for me to get out of from that angle. Everybody gets a time. Unusual on any cup, especially on one that might have some people going backwards. Actually, those times at the bottom improving also. 47.6 actually feels like a pretty good time to be getting eliminated in round 1 here. Zoman leads Mew and Quick Racer in the first round. So the 56, I'm guessing Crips was going backwards and did a little spin. That would be my guess. Had to finish the run going forwards. It is such a simple map though that I would not expect too many DNFs unless you're really pushing it with the backwards style. Which realistically you shouldn't be extra pushing in round 1, although we have seen, you know, some good players DNF for no reason in the past. That turn also, the one spot where I did slide out in the warm-up round, that is kind of a spot where you might just get thrown off the track also, and that would be tough to finish then, because I don't think you can get back on at that point. I also think I just kind of want to do 80% steering limit all the way around. I don't think there's any reason for me to be higher than that. I'm never going to be at 100%, and it just makes it easier to not slide out, and I think it gives me a little bit more range in terms of what I can do, especially at the top here, where I need to be very gentle. I almost wonder actually if 70, except I think this final corner gets a little bit tight. Maybe 70, and then just for the very last turn you could go 80. That could be a possibility. Where does the track even go? So almost everybody's gotten a time in the second round. Zoman leads yet again. Again, the 47s. And me getting knocked out early, unfortunate. Too risky with the backwards, perhaps. .43 is crazy time. Someone's done a 44.0, got very close to the 43s, but it's still like another half second to the author time. I said I was going to do 70, and I already forgot about that. We'll do that on the second run. Oh, that felt risky. I felt like I was going to slide out. There's a very dangerous spot on that. It's like a triple right-hand corner at the end. I guess you could argue quadruple with the final turn included in it as well. There's one spot where I did slide out in the warm-up round, and that spot feels super risky, because I think if you're turning at that section, like that's the section where you're gonna suddenly start sliding, even if you're not turning any sharper than you were at any other point in that corner. It does kind of feel like the risky finish being at the beginning. Not even just with the fact that you're going backwards, but just lining up the backwards off of the soap is kind of difficult. $70 feels fine so far. I have to kind of get used to what it feels like. A little bit wide, but I don't think that's necessarily a steering limit thing. Yeah, and you do want to be a little bit higher. I noticed last round my final corner was about 72, and I think it could have been sharper still. So maybe change the steering limit just for the last corner. Jake Adjacent goes fastest that time, 44.0. Nobody into the 43s yet. Oh, okay. Kind of thought I was going to spin around, but I did not. Down speed at CP1. I'm a little surprised. Okay, I'm up at CP2. Did I just hit CP1 really low on my PB? Because I felt like I was really low. Might be able to angle the car a little bit better just to save some speed at the top of the hill. Oh, okay, I don't know how I got away with that. Tapped a rock on the inside, it didn't spin me out, it didn't crash me. I was putting faith in the outside rocks to catch me there, but I guess I didn't need it. I guess I can hit that even lower than I did. Oh gosh, I'm gonna lose so much time being down 2 speed at the top of that hill. What was I was 0.33 down? 0.5. Yeah, so it's like... it's not quite 1/10 of a second per 1 speed. But generally at a slow section of the track like that, speed is going to be even more important. And where does that speed conservation come from? I think a lot of it might just be in these first corners. I wonder if I should go a little bit wider there, actually. First checkpoint's kind of a lie. Second checkpoint will be more telling if I get there in time. 0, net 0 is what I got out of that. So, I don't know. Zoman leads. It's been very consistently 44.0 being the leading time in each round. It looks like Hydro and Jake Adjacent are pretty consistently the people on the podium. Mew has been pretty consistently 4th also. I'm very interested to see how she does, given that she does have the backwards experience. Oh, too low. Okay, that shot me a little bit more to the right than I wanted to be. It's a decent run. Up speed, but I think that was just because I was angled to be shooting off the cliff, which is not ideal. It's It's not quite 80%. That I almost hit the inside rock by turning too hard. Oh, okay. I got away with that somehow. First checkpoint, I think, is just impossible to tell what the true speed is. Yeah, I would not have expected with the way I hit the first checkpoint to be up speed there. So I'm just going to kind of ignore CP1. Oh, and then I crashed into the wall at the top of the hill. Oof, 80% does allow you to get very close to the rocks, though, just as long as you're not playing it too risky. Let's see. Pandamine last second got a time there. I saw they were in the DNF. Bees and Beans eliminated. Microwaves also with a time that looks like a probable spin around. So a couple good players there getting knocked out. Still early in the cup. Not even top 30 yet. It's kind of a nerve-wracking cup just having to do this. It's going to be like 18 times. Somewhere around there to get a finish. I suppose it'd be less nerve-wracking if I just went forward, but you know, this is theoretically faster. Oh, went a little bit wide. Not quite a PB, right? It's 0.5, yeah. Which I think I set in round 1 and just haven't improved since. This run doesn't seem like it's going to be an improvement, but I want to try something. I want to see if 70%, if I full commit to 70%, if it still saves me from the slide out on this turn. Because that would be useful to know, given the setup I have. So if I come down here and just hold 70%, I expect to slide here. I don't. Okay. Good to know then. If I come in at a bad angle, I can probably hold 70% and be safe with that. Few people without a time. We're actually seeing more DNFs as the cup goes on. Goose last second does get in. Whoa, shaky camera. Zoman 43.8. That is pretty fast. Only person in the 43s still. 45's getting eliminated. Not a lot of spread across the whole field. I guess that's to be expected, given that it is a fairly simple layout. Although it does have the risk of going backwards if you are feeling risky. I should watch Zoman, I think is what I need to do, because I am just not getting better. And I'm not even top 10 in these rounds. That felt clean though. A little bit of plus speed. Whew, man, I can't believe I'm getting away with this every time. Okay, Zoman, what are you doing? What is my button for... There we go. Apparently I need practice in photo mode too to know how to do some of these levels. Zoman without a time at the moment. Haven't really seen anything different. He taps both walls up there. Very inside setup here. Just more inside all the way around the corner. I guess not saving quite as much speed, which might make sense given how close you are to the end at that point. 3 people without a time. Once again, Goose is one of those, looking for a last-second snipe. There comes Goose facing forward. A lot of people going forwards, actually. Direct's another one going forwards and needing an improvement right here. Got an improvement, but not enough. Tedgeboat, not enough to get out. That's probably a spin around from him, the 48. A lot of people going forwards, actually. I'm going to keep players on for the next round, just to see how many people are going forwards. Zoman goes backwards, though, which he is the guy to beat right now. I think there's only been one round where he was not the winner. Really? I load in first? It's unbelievable. I did get kind of a bad start just immediately off of the Omni booster. I'm being passed by most people forwards or backwards. I'm just going to reset because this is not a good run. Honestly, I don't feel safe even in a round of 24. Having a little bit of an off run. This isn't a whole lot of a bet. Ooh, that was not good. I didn't like that airtime. Still have time for another reset if I feel like I need it. I don't feel like I do with that speed split. That felt clean. Nope, it's down speed, I guess. I don't know. I thought steering more in that corner would have given me more speed. I'm a little confused where the speed is coming from. Oh, I guess it did. Maybe all of the checkpoints are just lies, and that's the real problem. Yeah, this is actually quite close to PB. 44667. Mew and Diablo without a time right now. Zoman comes in still backwards, 44-0. Just barely ahead of Agix. Diablo coming in facing forwards. I'm not gonna have a Mew DNF after all of this hyping her up. I guess it's a caster curse. Mew knocked out. And that is Icarus Shade and Vortex also. Diablo last second was able to squeak through. And Zoman just barely ahead of Agix in second. A new contender at the top. Ping as well in 4th place. A little bit of a diversion from the usual Hydro Jake adjacents that we've been seeing for most of this cup. Ah, that was too low. That was probably too left. Otherwise, it's a decent beginning. It's interesting to me, actually, how many people are going forwards. Maybe just deciding that the gain you get from going backwards is just not enough. I may try going forwards, actually, given that this is a really bad run. Just see how well I can do, because I've been passed by people going forwards on this run. That is not going to be safe. We are actually going to go for a forwards run, or at least get to the first checkpoint going forwards. Let's just see what happens. I am down speed going forwards. Well, maybe you get less airtime actually over that hump. I wonder if that's actually a difference you have. I do need this to be an improvement, which it is at the moment. How much of an improvement is the question? Oh, forwards allows me to take that so much tighter. Okay, I guess I get through. Not by a whole lot, actually. It was 11th place, but the times, there's 6 people in the .6s. Is Diablo, Lamp, Ronin, Tommy Gaming eliminated? So maybe learning some things from going forwards there. Actually, there's a couple things I did that I think would also work going backwards, mainly the super tight line at the end, and possibly this line over the hump near the beginning. So let's see if I can actually do that and gain... ignore that speed. Yeah, that felt okay. Down a little bit in time, but the speed is fine. Speed matters quite a lot with this moment at the top of the hill here. And then how tight can I be at the ending? Because I was like super inside all the way around. Oh, that was a little bit hesitant on my part. Did see like Jacob, Jason, and Hydro, I think both going forwards to go super tight. I kind of want to keep going backwards though. I think Zoman and Jacob, Jason are going backwards here. Kind of hard to tell. And up speed, currently in the elimination zone, so I need this to be an improvement. Oof, that's not a great split, actually. Better make sure I get this tight ending. It starts here. You really got to commit to it early. Wow, that does save actually quite a lot of time. Don't hit the rock. It's not enough, though. Wow. I couldn't even get close to getting out. Even with that much of an improvement right at the end. Man. '15th place. I needed a 44.5 to get out of this round. I needed to be within 6/10 of the first place. Within 7/10 of the fastest time put in this cup. Oh, someone had a 0.7 actually. A little bit more than that. That just shows how close everybody is in this cup that time's getting eliminated. Along with who else? DD, Alex, and Mortishade. It is fascinating to me that most people are going forwards. Pretty much everyone except for the guy who is fastest is going forwards. At some point you gotta think like they should practice backwards just because that has to be faster. It is actually only Zoman that is going backwards, and Zoman is catching and passing everybody else. That is fascinating to me. Final corner. Everyone pretty good. Nice tight lines at the end. Zoman 43.9. Hydro, Jacob, Jason putting in 0.0s there, even going forwards. That is so interesting. Is it really going to be this way the whole time where like Zoman is the only person? YOLO is also going backwards. And YOLO goes 5th fastest with that at 44.1. Right behind Quick Racer. Merrill and Bry currently the ones in the elimination zone. Where are everybody? Quick Racer, Merrill. Zoman's still the one going backwards of this bunch. Let's see them passing Merrill right here. Face to face in the same car. Oh, Zoman just has such an inside line. Oh, Merrill with a little bit of an inner hit the snowbank and is going to be eliminated with that. Round in a little bit of danger with the 0.4 also, but I do not think we are getting an improvement from Burai. So 11th and 12th Merrill and Bry, only 2 eliminations. Man, a 0.39 is the cutoff for 10th place. That is better than my PB. I am shocked actually that I couldn't go faster on this track. It seems like a track I would do fine on. Let's hop on Hydro here because he's kind of towards the back. Is going forwards. Looks like Jake adjacent up ahead is going backwards. Oh, Hydro with a little bit of a wheel clip there. A lot of people actually just hitting various things along the edge of the road. Only 4 people on their first runs. Jake Adjacent, the only one going backwards, not seeming to be any faster than the other 3 around him. Yeah, I just wasn't doing this tight enough, which I figured out like in the final round when I did get eliminated. Oops, I think Pandamane clicked one of the rocks. Yeah, it really is this turn, because I actually gained like maybe 2 or 3 tenths on my final run just by taking a super tight inside line around this turn, which is a big like 3-part right-hand corner. But of course I was so far down on that run to begin with that still couldn't get out. Zoman 43.7 again. Zoman is pretty much the fastest person on this track. Has been from the beginning. I think there was one round where Jake Adjacent was faster, but otherwise he's won everything. Round a little bit wide right at the end, and that might be the reason he gets eliminated. Pandamane also needing a time right now. Pandamane does get out. Round and Ping, the bottom 2. Round, of course, one of them that had to join kind of last second as well. Ping cutting it very close on time, but he should be good by a couple seconds here. Vidal right in front of him is his target. 0.30 needed to get out of this round. Final times coming in, no improvement by either. So Ping and Round eliminated 9th and 10th. Ping does have a habit of finishing 9th. It's kind of incredible how consistently they finish 9th in Cup of the Day. You think I have a 4th place curse, man. Zoman and YOLO, and I'm assuming Jake Adjacent is consistently doing backwards as well. A lot of resets right away, actually. Jake Adjacent a little bit wider at that turn. That is the spot where I was going wider also. It might just be a backwards thing that you feel the need to set up more for that turn. Hydro with a bit of an inner on the uphill section did lose quite a lot of speed though. And in fact, it's just Quick Racer left on their first run. Pandamane with an early reset. Already moving along. YOLO, the first one to come around, going backwards. We do have Zoman still facing backwards as well, and it looks like Jake Adjacent. So those are the 3, and that's pretty consistent. Zoman, Jake Adjacent, YOLO, those are the ones going backwards. Hydro is quite fast going forwards. Pandamane as well, 44.1 is a solid time. YOLO with a 0.3, that's going to be on the verge of elimination. Quick Racer definitely going to want to improve that run, but he was the first person to get it finished. Definitely has another run left. Jake Adjacent and Vidal needing times. I guess another reset from Jake Adjacent, who I did last see right behind those people I was watching. Vidal at the top of the hill here. Last round it was a 0.30 that was needed to get out, and right now there are 5 people below that. A lot of times coming in right at the end here. Vidal does get a 0.36, goes above Quick Racer and Agix. I think Agix might be eliminated with that. Here comes Jake Adjacent, his only run going forwards this time, not even bothering risking with the backwards line. Enough to knock out Quick Racer. Quick Racer is coming in for a snipe though. Last second, knocks out Vidal right at the end. So 33.6, sorry, 44.36. The elimination zone that time. 3 more people in the 0.3s just above that elimination zone. Zoman once again with the 0.79. He seems to be very consistent with that, down to the 100th of a second. I believe up ahead, I think that's Jake Adjacent going forwards this time. So now it's just YOLO and Zoman doing the backwards line. I feel like Hydro tries to go for that inner consistently also, but I'm not sure if he's getting it. Oh, okay, I thought YOLO was going to slide there, but he actually got away with it. All 6 of them, with very inside lines until right at the end. YOLO not able to hold on to it, so YOLO now the only person without a time, and everybody else with 0.1s? Are you kidding? YOLO has done a 0.1. Where are they? here. YOLO's in a 0.0, in fact. So everybody left 0.0 is the slowest of the times. Oh, actually, Panda Main 0.13. But Panda, actually, I'm not even going to say Panda Main is safe, because with how close these times are, everyone's in danger. YOLO not going to have enough. 0.24, very good time, but just not enough with how fast this round was. YOLO will be eliminated in 6th place. 4 people in the 0.1s right above him. And Zoman just kind of in a league of his own, being the last remaining person going backwards consistently. I don't know if Jake Adjacent is still trying that or not. So based on the author time sign that we have right at the beginning, the backwards line is better. Like that is what Sandals set his 43.57 on. And that is the strategy that is putting Zoman out in front right now. But everybody else is committed to going forwards. Zoman should have a tiny bit more speed by starting backwards. Hydro's trying. It's a little late, I think, to start learning. Jake Adjacent has pretty much abandoned it, has decided he's going to be faster or more consistent facing forwards. He tries the inner, also doesn't get out of it though. Perhaps seeing that from Hydro's lines. You can see Zoman gaining on Quick Racer rather quickly here. 87 speed at the top, we'll try to remember that as we get into the final few rounds here. They're both just such inside lines. Quick Racer with a pretty solid ending. Don't know why their wheels are bouncing so much. Zoman currently leading though with the 43.9 once again. Hydro is trying this backwards line. Not so bold to go for the inner when facing backwards. Let's see if he keeps this. Turned a little bit too much there. He's going to reset and just takes a safe forwards facing run. Jake Adjacent, just enough time if he resets quickly here. 44.15, is that safe? It's anybody's guess. Panda Main with a 0.12 and Quick Racer with a 0.16. Hydro off the track though, so Hydro's going to be eliminated. Forced to get too aggressive and cannot keep it on the track, so everybody is safe then. Zoman improves a tiny bit with a 0.95. Jake Adjacent trying backwards again. Probably a good idea. 87, same as what Zoman had there. I would think practicing the backwards line is a good idea. Jake Adjacent, I think the only other person to win a round besides Zoman in this cup. Did he improve right at the end? I don't think he did. Had a little bit of a rough final corner. Once again, everybody in the 0.1s. That is a tough time to beat. It is crazy that they're able to do that so consistently. Into the top 4 now. YOLO was the last of the non-Cup of the Day winners, so everybody left has one. Zoman, the favorite, just from a statistical standpoint, also with 25 Cup of the Day wins. Jake Adjacent, the only person on their first run. Facing forwards this time. Go fast is the license plate, and it seems that is what he's trying to do right now. 87 looked like maybe a high 87 facing forwards. Really, the speed difference isn't that much, and based on the heavily grinded author times that Sandals has put down, it should be about 0.2 of a second, the difference between going forwards and backwards. Nice final corner from Panda Main is enough to put him ahead of Jake Adjacent by just 0.05 of a second, which has been a pretty massive gap given what we've seen in the previous couple rounds. Zoman with a 43.8. So what I was just saying, it's about 0.2 the difference, is what we're assuming. Zoman is more than 0.2 faster, so forwards or backwards, I think Zoman wins this. Quick Racer, 0.06, that is a solid time. Zoman going backwards, we got Jake Adjacent and Panda Main. Looks like Jake might have just given up on backwards entirely at this point. Both of these people probably need improvements. Nice tight line. Pantomime a little bit wider. Solid endings for both of them. Jason improves. Pantomime does not. So Pantomime will be eliminated 6 thousandths of a second. The difference. Quick Racer safe with that 0.06, and Zoman wins yet another round. Into the podium positions now. Zoman, the only one going backwards. Quick Racer going forwards. Jason picking one or the other, but seemingly going forwards more often. I think Zoman's pace is just too much, though. The others don't seem to have what it takes to match Zoman. Even if they were to start going backwards and get a perfect run, I don't think they would do it. Zoman even just doing a full spin around there. Apparently did not get a great start with that, though. Nor did Jason. So Quick Racer the only person on their first run. Oh, gets a little bit of the inner, but finds the tree with his face. That is a strategy, particularly going forwards, although I think it's possible backwards as well. But particularly going forwards, there is the potential of a tiny inner right at the beginning of that turn. That could be something that gives enough speed to make up the difference, given how close the times have been. 87 speed, I think maybe a high 87 again for Jason. Try to keep those wheels on the blue line if you can, just as tight as possible. Same with the final corner here, get as close to the rocks as possible. 44.19. Well, Quick Racer resetting again back at the beginning. Zoman will get 2 runs. Is that 0.19 safe? It depends if Quick Racer can do a good run right now. This is the last chance. Quick Racer without a time. Zoman and Jason behind him, both going backwards as well. Not sure what's up with the buggy wheels today. Looks like pretty good speed up here. 87, 88 even. I think this is slightly faster than Jason's run. Everybody has been really consistent with that 0.1, so 0.19 does feel a little bit weak given that standard. Oh, but he taps the rock. Oh, and it's a 0.21. That was the difference, just the small tap of the rock at the end. Zoman improves to a 0.8. Not in the 0.7s as he has been for most of this cup, but man, that rock right at the end definitely would have been a faster time from Quick Racer. That lost him a lot more than the 200ths that was the gap at the end. Zoman with the 0.72 world record. Can anybody beat him? Can Zoman even get the 0.7s again? Both of them going backwards this time. Jason, I think he knows he needs every single iota of speed he can get if he wants to beat Zoman. Zoman looking for a 26th Cup of the Day win. Jason would be going for a 3rd. Jake has never lost in the finals. And Zoman has more second place finishes than anybody. But given what we've seen today, I think we have to say Zoman is the clear favorite here. Let's see what Jason can do if he's willing to risk going backwards. That was very fast speed from Zoman. I think that was 88 at the spot I've been measuring. Pretty close to 89 even. Clean run from Zoman. 43.9. That is possibly beatable. We haven't seen Jason go that fast yet, but it's not far off. Zoman does have time to improve as well. Looks like a clean run from Jake. We didn't see the start of it. Only a 0.1. Jason has done a 0.05. Both of them at the start, and Jake's going to try going forwards. He resets again right at the beginning. Still going to try going forwards with this run. Zoman looking to set a world record. 134 speed at checkpoint 2. Let's see what Jason has going forwards. 132 is a little bit slower. Makes you think it's not going to be enough. 78 at the top of the hill. 89, maybe even 90 at that spot at the bottom. Only 75 at the top of the hill for Jason. So Zoman definitely on a way faster run here. Ooh, taps the snow but got away with it. Zoman final run, 0.743, not quite his own world record. Jason ends up off in the snow. Zoman claims another Cup of the Day win. Congratulations, Zoman. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see all these stats and results for Zeepkist Cup of the Day, I always link a spreadsheet in the description below, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!